channel. Okay, so today, for those of you that don't know, number one, my name is Christina Jackson. This is my channel, Christina Nicole Fitness. I'm teaching you how to live an intuitive, balanced lifestyle, okay, that inspires you. Okay, so right now, what I'm doing, I'm whipping it up. This is kind of going to be like a quick cook with me, maybe even a little bit of a chit chat, but I'm teaching you how to make kind of, oh, it's like pho, but a little bit of, I guess, miso at the same time. If you have the broth bases, it makes it easier to do. But right now I'm using my wok and I'm about to show y'all what it's looking like. So I got one whole red onion in here with some sesame seed oil. Okay, and I probably use about 1 tablespoon of that, but I'm going to be using it more throughout. So I'm just trying to get these, cooked down. I did 1 orange bell pepper. These are my favorite because they're sweet, but they're good with peanut butter. They're good with like ranch. They're good with all kinds of stuff. They're good in salads, but these are my favorite. I feel like these have the most flavor. So I cut these up in long strips. We're going to toss these in here, and all this stuff has already been washed. So make sure I don't hit myself. And I'm over here fancy drinking some lemon water. Okay. And I'm probably going to do a little bit of some more sesame seed oil because I want the peppers to have that as well too. I just pour it based upon how I'm feeling. Now I have fish sauce. You don't have to add this in here if you're vegan or vegetarian. Just choose to opt out. Okay, y'all, fish sauce is very pungent for a scent. It's good when it's mixed in with stuff, so but we're going to do just a little bit just because, like I said, it's very pungent and it can change the flavor very quick. So you don't want to add too much of it if you do. Just a few little drops in there. And then I'm also going to add some garlic. This is Mr. I got this from the dollar store. You can get like a big container from Walmart for like $5. So, but I got this from the dollar store, so got to add that in here. Okay, I got 1 size of this spoon, which I think is a tablespoon, because I know this ain't a teaspoon. So yeah, 1 tablespoon. Okay, we're gonna keep stir frying this up, and then I gotta get the broth out, and then we got more stuff coming. Okay. So now this is cooked down a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit of teriyaki sauce. I always eyeball everything. Just because ain't nobody got time for portion control. Not in this. And that was probably about 1.5 tablespoons, maybe 2. But I would say no more than 2. Yeah, I've been cooking pretty much my whole life, and my parents have taught me how to cook. Both of them can cook, both of them can bake. So I have learned a lot of different recipes through them, but also I've learned to cook things on my own. But I pretty much am able to, be able to tell exactly the amount that I'm putting in, just because I've been meal prepping, I've been cooking for years, and most of everything I do is portion control based. So yeah, sorry, the onions are really bothering me if you hear me sniffling. Okay, so now we're gonna do this Vietnamese inspired pho broth. So we're going to do 1 of these to 1 beef bone broth. Now remember, if you're vegetarian, don't do beef. They do have vegetable stock out there. I get this one from Walmart, and this one's also from Walmart. And if you want to see the nutrition label, there it is. There's the other one. Okay, I figured y'all want to see what I'm doing. So we're going to add this whole thing in, because I can keep, holding it, but I feel like y'all are going to actually want to see me put this stuff in here. Okay. So give that a stir. And I have this on a setting on a 4. So I just let it take its time to heat up and everything like that. Nothing special. Just because you want to cook these and saute everything first and then, do this. Now, before I have done this with just onions and mushrooms, but I didn't have mushrooms, and I kind of didn't want them this time, and I had bell pepper that I needed to use up because I didn't want it to go bad, so I'm using it in this. And then we're gonna do the beef bone broth. I like to shake everything up before I use it. We're gonna add this whole container in here too. Now this makes a lot of lunches and dinners. Now this can be a pho style. You can turn this into a miso, because I know they make miso bases, but my stores where I live at don't have that kind of stuff, so I would have to travel to go get it. Also, we can turn this into a ramen style too, which I'm going to be adding noodles in here as well today. I got green onions I got to chop up and put in there as well, so that's the next step. And we do have to keep these both out, the teriyaki and the sesame seed oil, because we will be adding some more of that in there. And as of right now, I mean, you just stir this, let it kind of cook on its own. I have some more stuff I have to put in here as well, so let's toss that over there. I pressed these yesterday. These are tofu blocks. These are extra firm. I pressed them out just because of the fact that you don't want all that moisture in there. And then if you try to chop these up before they were pressed, all the tofu would just crumble into like little crumbly bits and stuff. So they're pressed. They're the way I want them, and these are good. You can also like cut them down and fry them up. They were a lot bigger, but this is what they look like now. So taking off the paper towels, because I did that like really late last night. I was pressing them while I was doing some other stuff. So we got everything all ready to go. So we're gonna chop this up. Now you can chop this up in slices. You can chop this up in chunks. So we're gonna take one. And that's why I said do everything on a low setting, because you want the tofu to absorb the flavor of the broth. You want the tofu, and I'm gonna also, like I told y'all, add noodles. You want all that stuff to absorb every bit of flavor. Okay. So I'm hoping y'all can see this. I'm hoping this will get there. So I cut them into slices and stuff like that, kind of thick. This one was kind of unproportioned, but it doesn't matter. So I want them in cubes. That's what I prefer for today. So all I got to do is just drop them in here at this point. Now another thing is, if you want your tofu like extra flavorful, it's just like meat. You can put them in a Ziploc bag, or you can put them in a glass container. Whatever you want to do, it's your choice. And all you got to do is add whatever seasoning or marinade you want to flavor it, so it can the flavor can get into the tofu. So back to this. And it will stay this firm as long as you press a lot of the water out. If you don't press the water out, it ain't staying firm like this, or you can cut it, because it will just crumble. My aunt taught me that. My aunt's the one who actually got me into tofu. I never really, I've had it in hot and sour soup, but like to actually eat it and stuff like that, I never had it before. Not until my aunt made it for me one day. She pan fried it and everything like that. She pre-seasoned it, so that way I knew exactly what it tasted like. And she showed me how to marinate everything. So I was like, cool. So ever since then, every once in a while I'll get tofu. No, I'm not vegetarian. No, I'm not vegan. I have different meals that I like sometimes. I like to change up my eating habits. I like to change up my taste buds and stuff like that, to try new things, new recipes, just to see if I make it this time, will I like it next time? You know, what can I do differently? So that's something else I will do. So I got 2 blocks of tofu in here. And that's my protein source in there. I do have beef that I could have put in here that I bought because I forgot that I had tofu in the fridge. And then I also bought one more. But that's okay. This is my protein source, so the tofu is gonna sit in there. And I could have also pan-seared the tofu while I was doing all this, but that's not necessary. Okay, so tofu's in there. I'm gonna do one thing green onions for sure, and the other one I'm probably gonna cut up to like put on the top in my bowls. Also, if you are keto, low carb, or you just want to try something new, or like me, intuitive eating, you just like to try new stuff, this is something I haven't tasted these yet, but I've definitely had noodles like this, and these are not in the same section where the tofu is located. I got this at my local H-E-B. It's the Wok Ready Angel Hair. They're gluten-free, low-calorie, fat-free, and low-carb. It's 8 calories per serving. So that's what these look like. And I don't know. I'll just read it to you. There's 10 calories. It's 2 servings. Serving size is half a package each, which is 100 grams, 3.5 ounces. 2.2 carbs, 2.2 grams of fiber, and there is 0.4% iron and 0.08 milligrams of calcium. So yeah, that's all that's in there. Which these are, I normally like these type of noodles. Most of these noodles are made from like a white yam. If you never had them, they're really good, but you have to put these with whatever you're cooking with, has to have a lot of flavor, and these need time to absorb the flavor because they don't have a flavor. So this is what they'll look like. They look just like noodles, kind of stringy and stuff. So I'm gonna open up the package, rinse them off. That's another thing. Don't just dump this whole package in there because it's gonna, one, it's got water in it, and you definitely don't want that in there. And you need to rinse them off because they have like, because they're in here, they have this certain smell to them and stuff like that. So make sure you rinse these off, okay? Okay, so noodles, if y'all can see that, are done. They're just clear, kind of white string, and you just dump those in there. And then we're gonna mix them around. Remember, if you want them to get flavor, they gotta cook in here. So that's what I'm gonna let them do. Just mix this around so they can absorb the flavor like the tofu. And yes, I know this is a really big pot, and I'm going to be eating some of this today as well. Besides, portion this out for the week coming up. I got the green onions over here that I got to chop up. Man, these onions really burn my eyes, y'all. The struggle's real. I also have some cilantro. Normally you put this on top, but I am going to put a little bit into the soup just because I want some fresh cilantro. Okay, so now that my cilantro is done, we're just going to put it in here. I just took a very small, like little handful, not a lot of cilantro. And I just chopped it up. And I even used the stems too because all that stuff's going to cook down. I always use the stems of cilantro in everything I do just because they're full of flavor too. Oh, not a lot of people like them. They just pull off the leaves. But for me, everything got flavor in the cilantro. Okay, and this is going to change the color. It's brightly green right now, but it will come to like a dark military armor green. I also have fresh basil for this, but I'm not going to put basil in here to cook with it. I like my basil on top. Pack right here of basil. So yeah, so next we need to add some more stuffing. So we're gonna add some more sesame seed oil, some more teriyaki sauce. Remember, this is all to your own liking. Now this is a big thing, a big pot, aka a wok. So I will add a lot, and then as I'm taste testing it, it will let me know if I need to add more, you know. And then I'm gonna do garlic powder. flakes because I like my heat. I got onion powder as well. I got pepper. I also got chopped onions. Anything from like this type of brand is going to be from the dollar store. Let's do it this way. Maybe I should do it this way. Hold on. There we go. So yes, more onions. I know y'all are like, how the hell does she eat so many onions? I just do. And then I got this ground allspice. Now allspice is something that is also used in Asian cooking. You have to be careful how much you add because this shit is pungent. I'm not adding no more than that. I can see that. Just cause that, should get strong. And then yes, more green onions. These are dried. I don't add too much of that. I have some dried cilantro as well. If you're like, how could you add all this stuff in when you already have it? I just do. It's part of like the way that I cook. Sometimes I have this stuff, sometimes I don't. But sometimes having that stuff dried adds a little bit of a different flavor. I'll just stir that in here. I might end up adding the rest of this. There's not much more in here. And I have more in the pantry because I just bought some more. But we're going to taste test this. Okay. So using that spoon I had earlier that I set off to the side, I want to see where the taste is now. Okay, for me this is still a little bland, so I'm gonna add the rest of this in here. Soy sauce I like to get, it's called the Very Teriyaki. So I use this every once in a while. You gotta shake it up because it has like a lot of sesame seeds in it, and if you don't, they'll all end up piling up at the top. This is kind of like more sweet one. It's a really thick sauce. So I'm gonna add this in here as well too. Just add the rest of that. Now you can always measure what you want to add in here, but like I said, this is a very big pot, so I want to make sure that the flavor is just right. Because there was flavor there. It's not that there's not, but for me, I like more of a like kick to my flavor. I want to make sure. So if I have to add like salt or other like, and like I said, this is a sauce. Yes, I'll add that in. And the other one's more of like a liquid marinade sauce. And this one's a thicker one. So I always have like some of those stuff in my house just because I do use a lot of teriyaki sauces in my cooking just because I do like Asian flavored food or Asian inspired food. So we're going to taste this, and then if it doesn't taste right, I'm going to let it cook a little bit longer and see where we go from there. That tastes right. Okay. So we're going to let that sit for a little bit. Let this do its magic, and then I'll come back to it in a little bit. Okay, y'all, this is the finished product. I did add a little bit more garlic powder, pepper, and red pepper flakes, but that was after it cooked for a while, probably about 10 minutes before I shut it off. But that's it, and then this is what we're looking at for our food. Can't wait to eat it. Now remember, guys, y'all can basically do what you want, add whatever vegetables and stuff like that, but this is kind of more pho inspired, or pho, sorry, my pronunciation. But I did it based off of that, and then I do like tofu, but like I said, I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan, but I do like trying stuff out or changing up the recipe every once in a while because sometimes I do have cravings for literally tofu. So, plus I like the little spongy texture and whatnot. But yeah, I've made this before and stuff like that. Made it a little bit different. But if you want it kind of more of like a miso, you just add the green onions, and then you would add like mushrooms and stuff like that, and then probably like a miso paste. And then if you're vegetarian or vegan, obviously you want to look for the vegetable broths and stuff like that, not any chicken or beef based broths. But yeah, this is just, you know, cook with me inspired and stuff like that, you know, at home meal prep. This is meal prep, but also cook with me because, like I said, this is what I'm going to be having for most of the week for lunches and dinners, just because I'm the type of person I can cook like one giant pot of something and then eat that throughout the week. That's just how I am because I don't like to waste food. There are times where I might change it up and cook something else, but that's what we're eating for lunches and dinners this week. So if y'all have any questions on how I cook this or what else you can add into it, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below and I'll get back to you. Go ahead and thumbs up this video if you liked it or you want to see more videos like it. Please like I said, and subscribe to the channel, and go check out the gram because I'm going to be having some more content coming up on there as well too. And then I always post on my stories every 1 to 3 days, okay? No more than 3 days, but every 1 to 3 days. So always go check out my stories. I don't always post as much on there, but I definitely post on the stories just because it's fun doing video content, okay? I'll see y'all later. See y'all in the next one. Choo choo.